The national park I was assigned was Bryce Canyon National Park. Location: it is found south of Salt Lake City, Utah. Bryce Canyon National Park was established on February 25, 1928. It was named after a Mormon pioneer named Ebenezer Bryce. In the 1870s, the Mormon pioneers had settled near the canyon, and because of Bryce's amazing geologic features and astonishing beauty, it has been protected as a national park since. Characteristics: Bryce Canyon is home to many species of mammals, reptiles, insects, and plant life. For example, the Utah prairie dog, limber pine, blue flax, pronghorn deer, black bears, and mountain lions, as well as many more animals and plant life. This canyon is also known for its amazing geologic features, including hoodoos, which are tower-like rock structures, twisted rock spires, and hat-caped domes, all of which make it a very unique area. An ecosystem that is similar is the Red Canyon, which is located 9 miles from the entrance of Bryce Canyon. It has similar rock formations, yet they aren't as large or detailed. Another ecosystem that is closely linked to Bryce Canyon is Zion National Park. Both of these national parks share species of animals and plant life, as well as yearly temperature. And here are the trophic levels and food webs. Succession. So I couldn't find much on any kind of succession in Bryce Canyon, but I found one instance of secondary succession of a sort. In 1958, the National Parks Association used controlled burning as a means of managing forests and restoring them. So after the burn, the plant life grew back, and some pioneer plants of Bryce Canyon are the pine, blue flax, and many more. The climax community is one of sparsely vegetative badlands, with threatened plant species as well as various animal life. Invasive species. Bryce Canyon has a big problem with non-native plant species. For example, the yellow star thistle, which are starting to be removed because of the water depletion they are causing. More examples would be the bowl thistle, Russian olive, and blue flax. They have been working on a plan to reduce and remove invasive plants in Bryce since 2004. The National Park Service has gotten approval to use methods including fire, mechanical, chemical, and biological means of removal. But before they get approval, they had to make sure this would not affect the native species of both plant and animals in any way. Problems harming the ecosystem. Of course, the massive amount of invasive plant species, which estimate up to 51 invasive plant species that we know of reside in Bryce Canyon. This causes a fairly big problem in Bryce for its native species. The National Park System is working on removing some of these, but there's also a small threat of air pollution from nearby power plants, as well as the development of buildings and communities near Bryce Canyon, which causes noise, air, and light pollution. What is being done to protect it? Bryce Canyon National Park is doing its best to prevent any kind of problem in its parks and sustain its delicate ecosystem, as well as make it a great place for people to visit. They have put up signs to inform visitors not to litter, as well as not to disturb the animal and plant life. Interesting facts. Bryce Canyon is famous for its hoodoos, which are tall rock structures. Most of the time, they are formed from sedimentary and volcanic rock. Bryce Canyon actually holds the largest collection of hoodoos in the world. Symbiotic relationships. An example of commensalism in Bryce Canyon would be the Great Basin rattlesnakes using abandoned holes prairie dogs or other underground animals make. Mutualism. When moth or butterfly lands on top of any plant, it picks up pollen and it moves it to another area, and helps the plant spread, and it supplies food for the insect. Competition/predation. A good example of competition would be when mountain lions compete for food and mates, and they can also prey on other mountain lions, which is an example of predation. Biomagnification. There really isn't much information about biomagnification in Bryce Canyon, other than maybe some chemicals moving up the food chain from nearby power plants. Some chemicals from the power plants get into the soil and are absorbed by plants. Those plants are eaten by small animals, and then those animals are eaten. The toxic chemical level increases as it goes up the food chain. And finally, my references.